And when you have been given the priority to work on a dedicated task, it is absolutely on you to take up the thing. And that one single thing what you are dreaming of to achieve, and you feel that one single achievement is the whole fulfillment of your life, that is exactly within the reach for you. But in order to achieve it, the one single vehicle or one single means by which you can travel and reach that is by your time. In order to manage your time, because there is no single force. It was said by a great Napoleon Hill that there is no other greatest power to achieve power which can support you to achieve your target other than the concentrated efforts. But how would you do that? When you align yourself perfectly with the time. In order to achieve the target that you put for yourself, one single thing that you need to definitely have the grip on is time. But how to manage time? It's definitely an infinite thing. It was defined, time is an infinite source which can never be explained in a clear format. But what can you do? Rather, you can frame up, you can segment, you can divide the time into the blocks and choose what block is for what. Consider that as an ice cube, the bar of 24 hour as an ice cube. Now cut it down completely into pieces, hour by hour, into the 10 minutes basis or something. So when you cut it down, so take up the most productive time of it can be from early in the morning at 6 to 10, or you can consider that from 9 o'clock all the way 5 in the evening, or consider that in the night where you will not be disturbed by anyone. Take that active time, the productive time into consideration. Now do not try to work completely on it. Do not try to take 4-5 hours completely and put it on. No. Try to break them into the pieces, into the blocks. Consider that you have woken up at 6 o'clock and you want to straight away get into your work. Then obviously cut down 6 to 7. Give the priority to read some books or do some yoga or hit some workout. Then 7 to 7:30. Try to work on some subject, some content, read some books, take some valid points and make the block like that. So whenever you're having blocks, the piece of time in your control, then there would be a lot of productivity that you can find rather than simply prolonging the time and considering that whole morning hours for some activity that would definitely not reap adequate result for you. When you frame it up, condense it only to half an hour or 1 hour completely undistracted time, then you're going to make a lot from it rather than giving 4-5 hours. That time, one concentrated hour is more than enough than spending 10 hours of distracted work. So it's very much important to know how to concentrate on that piece of time. So take up the block, put your complete dedication and devotion towards it. Keep off your mobile phones or any other distractive sources. Lock yourself up, get into the room and just work on that particular task. Whatever time you are promising to it, give only that time. No extra time or no less than that. I know a lot of people who feel motivated, they try to study for a lot longer hours, which is not necessary. Do you know why? Because the next day or the other day, it falls down. Motivation does not work for the longer extent. All you got to do is that you need discipline. Discipline enables you to fix up to that chunks or that promise what you have made and work dedicated. You may not work 4 hours today. 1 is more than enough for you, but keep up going on 1 hour every single day until you master that skill. Because the greatest things what you're promising for you demand the greatest attention. And greatest attention is possible only when you dedicate some time towards it and get involved into it. And that is how exactly the great businessmen divide the time frames. Even Elon Musk, the one who is known, the richest man in the whole world and the most creative mind the world has ever seen, he divides the blocks, he divides his time frames not in hours, but he chunks them to 5 minutes blocks, where he takes up a job and works only for 5 minutes on that particular agreement or email or that meeting, immediately shifts to the other one, and then 10 minutes to other task and just get into it. And once the time is tick, he leaves it. So that is how dedicated he is, and that is the reason why he's leading multiple companies without having pressure on his head. So it is the importance of taking up the time management, blending it with your target, and that's the only source through which you reach your targets. And remember, the great pyramid which people wonder is also not constructed all at once. Block by block, block by block has made the whole pyramid stand, and that still astonishes, amazes the people. So all the great things are done not all at once. Do not focus that rapid growth is always a distraction. So rather focus on disciplined growth, and that happens only when you have priority or respect towards the time. And how? By making it into the blocks and giving value to every single minute of it. And that is how you grow productive, and that is how you mesmerize the people around you, and that is how people consider one day and feel proud that you are part of their tribe. And that's the only reason why great people have always mentioned value time and you will have your freedom. Time upon using actively makes you a magnificent human being, and time is your prize, and time is your ticket on this land. So make use of it. What kind of impression are you going to make? What kind of changes are you going to bring? What kind of memories are you going to install? And that all depends upon your ability to think and act on one common commodity, the time. If you figure this out, and this is how all the great geniuses have been produced by this land. They worked, they got involved into the work in such a way without any distractions by following the time. Because they valued their time, they're living by connecting that life, which in other words is the time, to their purpose. And when you do that, marvelous forces come and act on it. And surprisingly, you become the identity of that creation. So focus on managing the time. And even there is one great priority upon slicing the time into the blocks and giving the priority and making that achievement on that particular task and completing it within the given time endorses you to feel a sense of satisfaction, and your prefrontal cortex releases endorphin, which in other words is the encouraging hormone or the rewarding hormone that makes you feel exuberant and go further to chase many more targets and many more dreams, because you are limited to achieve only first dream first. Later becomes a habit to you. As it was said already, moving the first rotation of the horse wheel is very difficult. But once the cart keeps moving, it's very easy for the horse to pull it up. In the same format, make the first move and you're going to see the magnificence following you. And you're going to see the magnificence following you. And I also know a lot number of business people who dedicate some time during their day, consider 11 to 12, only for making the calls to their clients. And I know some people who read the emails only between 1 to 2. I also know a lot of people who go to bed by reading for 15 minutes prior to their sleep. By reading 15 minutes prior to their sleep, some magnificent books. And what? Within few months, that person must have read and have great knowledge, which is very, very important. And I hope from now on, at least one of 336 subscribers of mine would open up a book. And I hope from now on, you would value your time and you soon settle down on your career goals, which make you proud and fulfilling. See you in the next video.